So what we are doing now, I'm just going to record this, and we are basically creating a simple Android application in which we'll take user input and do the calculation and show the user back the total result, the total calculation amount which the user has to pay. Let's do this. I'm going to add some labels here. So I'm going to take customer name here, and one second. So the first thing I have to do over here is the layout. My layout is relative layout, and what I'm designing over here is the interface on the relative layout, which will work perfectly on the screen I'm designing it on, but it will not work well on other screens. So the first thing I need to do is to select the correct layout. So let me just select the correct layout first. So I change the layout to linear layout vertical, and OK. Make sure whenever you do any changes, keep on saving your work. So this is my linear layout, which is the top level layout. Inside this layout, I'm going to add horizontal layout like this. So that's the first component inside the linear layout, which is going to be horizontal. Keep saving your work. Its orientation I select from here to horizontal. So it's kind of like rows inside the vertical layout. This is the vertical layout. Inside it there are rows which are horizontal rows. Here I'm going to add text view. Whatever you add first will come first, and then I'm going to add a text field to check the users, to take the user's name in the same layout. The text view comes first, which is the user's name. Let me just write here customer name, not the username, customer name, and then the text field. Okay, and then I'm going to have another layout, a horizontal layout in the vertical layout. It's going to come here, and here I'm going to take small, medium and large pizzas. So this is the second row. I'll add this label. I'm going to label it small. Text field, I'm going to label it text field, and then another layout, horizontal layout here, and now this one should be medium. So I'm going to add the text view and call it medium, and I'll have corresponding text box also. I'll go to text fields, and this is the text field I need, so I drag it. Sorry, okay. Please remember, you have to drop the text field inside the horizontal layout, which I didn't do just now. It should be like this. So it should appear like this. So it is inside the horizontal layout. So this is the text field, and then this is the text field, and this was the text view. So I have this as medium. This is the text field. In Android terms, we call this as edit text. Lastly, there should be what? Large. So we have customer's name, small, medium and large pizzas. To place large over here, first of all I'm going to place linear layout. Make sure you keep saving your work. Linear layout, and then add here large. Text fields, this is the large text field. Drop it inside the horizontal layout. So I've got this now, customer name, small, medium, large, and then I need one more layout for the button. So I drag and drop another layout, and here I place the button to calculate this actually. So let's move this a little down so I can see that layout. Button should go in this horizontal layout. This is the horizontal layout. Now I want to center this. To To center the button, go to the linear layout and change its gravity to center. Change its gravity to center so the button comes in the middle, and the button should be calculate. So that's my interface. Below the button I'll have another text view here, and I'll call it an empty text view basically to show the result. So I won't just drag and drop the text view like this. I need a layout. So first of all, have a layout, a horizontal layout just below the calculate button. So it comes here. Here you add a layout. So I'm gonna here you add a text view. So I'm gonna add a text view here. Make sure you can see the layout where you want to add the form widgets on. So this is the layout I need to add the text view. So drop on the layout, and now you see the text view over here. What this should contain, it should contain in the beginning nothing. It should be nothing in the beginning, but later on we will have some values over here like this, whatever the message is. So we'll have that message here. Right now there is no text, so I should delete the text like this. So delete it, so it will show nothing over here. Make sure you keep saving your work. So that's basically my interface. What I would like it to do is, when the user clicks on calculate, there is an event handler, right? We will create an on-click listener. At this point we'll create an on-click listener. What that listener will do, it will read customer's name, and then it will read small, medium, large quantity, how many small, medium and large pizzas he or she needs, multiplies it by their prices, and display the result over here. That's all we need to do. Okay, just a second. Now, so to do the calculation, let's give them names first. Make sure the names are not duplicate, they have no spaces, there is no special characters. So this is the first text field I need to read. Let's give it name from this ID. Okay, I'll give it this ID over here, name txt. The reason I'm giving txt again is that I know it's a text box. When I'm doing programming, I'll know, okay, it's the text box that I'm reading from. And then this is small, its ID is small txt. Name txt, small txt. Now I need medium txt, medium txt, and then large txt. Okay, so make sure you keep on saving your work. You have 4 text fields: name txt, small txt, medium txt, and large txt. Now you can also give these IDs to these labels or the text views: customer name, small, medium, large. But the reason we are not interested to give them names is that we will not read them in programming. We will not read these labels, and we will not do anything with these labels in programming. So that's the reason we are not interested to give them different IDs. Whatever ID has been given by the Eclipse IDE, we'll leave it over there. So let's see, the customer's name ID is TextView1, small the TextView's ID is TextView2, and you can see it over here: TextView2, TextView3, TextView4, and the names you have given are visible here. Name txt for the edit text, small txt for the edit text, medium txt for this edit text, large txt for this edit text. Now there is a result which comes up when you press the calculate button. That calculate button reads the user's input, does the calculation, and displays the result here at this place. Inside this place there is a text view we just placed. So let's give it also a name, an ID, text view. We'll call it result label or result edit text, whatever you like. So result label. Label makes more sense because it is just read only. The result label is what we give this to them, to this widget, result label. So I'm going to show my result over here. Okay. So what happens now, basically when the user clicks on calculate, the program should start. So I also give it an ID, calc btn, for example, calc btn, so I know it's a button. Alright, make sure you keep on saving your work. Any errors, any issues with your code will appear over here in the problems. Any errors, make sure you solve those problems. And while you're doing this interface designing, especially upon every layout, make sure you keep saving your work. Now I'm going to go back to my Java file under the source folder, pizza order. First of all, I will not do any programming in these two methods. On create options menu, select item selected. The only programming I will do is in this method. This is the on create method only. We will do programming in this block of code only. So this block, the block starts here and it ends here. It starts here and it ends here. Inside this block I will do all my code. So after these two lines, I'm not going to remove these lines, I'm not going to touch them. I'll just increase the size of the block and I'll just enter to write some more code over here. Here I'm going to follow some steps. First of all, references. So code comment, please do write code comments. Create references to the text, to the interface widgets, and then create on click listener. Inside on click listener, inside this you have to read user input, whatever the user input has been, do calculation, and display result. These are basically two main steps, and within the second step, three main steps you have to do. So you have to read user input, do calculation, display result. Once you create the references, you'll do the on click listener. Make sure you keep saving your work. I'm going to save this here. And these, the references I will create. Reference for the text boxes, 4 text boxes, 1 button, and 1 label over here. I'm going to create these 5 references. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 references. 4 edit text, in other words text boxes, 1 button, and 1 label. So I'm going to go back to my Java file. I'll create references. So this is how I create references. First of all, for text view, we know it is called in Android edit text. The text field is called in Android edit text. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my Java file and I'll say edit text, and this is customer name. Customer name is equal to, in the brackets, edit text, and control space will give you suggestions. Find, if you write FIN, it will give you this suggestion of all the list of FIN. You need find view by ID. And what should I write? R means resources, R dot ID dot. Now I'm looking for customer name, so I'll look for customer name txt. Customer name txt, CUST or name txt. Yeah, name txt. That's the name I've given. So it will link this. It will link this reference to this edit text. So whatever I've written here will be linked into this customer name, and you can give it the same name also if you like. Now this is an error. The red color, the red line is an error. It is telling you to import something. If you move your mouse over it, just hover your mouse over it, it will tell you to import the widget. So please click over it, it will import the widget for you. Okay, and make sure you keep saving your work. The second edit text I need to read is the quantity of small pizza, the medium pizza, and then the large pizza. So I'll go here, edit text, small is equal to edit text, find view by id, r.id dot small txt, and then I'm going to do this edit text, medium, edit text, find view by id, r.id dot medium txt, and notice how it gives you the suggestions once you press control space. Edit text, large is equal to, in the brackets, edit text, control space, find view by id, r.id dot large txt, control space, large txt. So I've got the 4 references for name, small, medium, and large. Now I need the reference for the buttons and the label. So I'll write button, calc btn is equal to button, type, this is typecasting, typecast it to button, find view by id, r.id dot calc btn. That's the name we gave. And now notice again, it will give you red color error. So this error is again that this file does not recognize what kind of button you need. So it says I need Android widget button. So you hover your mouse over it. The first suggestion it will give you is to import. So you import the button. The button is an Android widget. So you click here, anywhere on this line, the error will go away. And actually the import, where does it go? The import goes here. See, it has imported button, it has imported edit text also. It goes here when you click on that suggestion. Now this yellow line is not an error. It's a warning only. It's not an error. It's a warning. What does it warn us for? That you have declared these 4 variables, but you are not using them. That is what it means. We will use them here. When we use them here, these warnings will go away. It is not an error. Your program will still run. It will still show the screen on the activity. The activity it will still show on the mobile. So I've created the button listener, the button reference. Now I need to create the reference for label. So what was this label? The name of this label, result label. Yes, okay. So this is actually what kind of it is. What kind of component is this? Text view. Many times students do this error. It's a text view, but they write over there as edit text. It's an edit text, but they write over there in the Java as text view. That's where error comes. Please do not make this error. You see this name txt? It's an edit text. Make sure you see what it is. It's an edit text. Right here, name txt as an edit text. Do not change it to name to text view or button, etc. This is also when things happen and they go wrong. So the result label is what? It's not an edit text. It's not a button. It's a text view. So I go back to my Java 5. I need to create the text view now. Text view result is equal to text view find view by id r.id dot result label. And again, this is an error. I don't know what text view is. Hover your mouse over it and import and save it. So you've done the references. Next thing you will do is create an on-click listener. Okay. So in the on-click listener, once we create the on-click listener, we need to read user input, do calculation, and display results. Let's create the on-click listener first. What do we need this listener for? For which widget do we need this reference on-click listener here from? Is it for results, calc btn, or what is it for? Anybody? It's for calc btn, the button. We are creating the reference for the button. So I'll write calc btn dot set on click listener, and here you write new space control space will give you suggestion, and you need to create this on click listener. So if you double click this now, view.onClick listener, it will write the code for you automatically. Only in the end, only where this bracket is ending, it will tell you. If you write this, if you click on this bracket, it will tell you it's ending here. You see this square around this bracket? Do you see this square around this bracket? If you click here on this bracket, it will tell you it's ending here. So here you have to write semicolon, and the code is ready. Now the errors you see is again the import related error. So I advise you go to create on click listener. Again you import the on click listener because it does not know what it is, because we have not imported the class. So import the class and the error will go away. And make sure you keep saving your work. So now you have this on-click listener. Inside this on-click listener, you have to do these three things. So I'm just gonna cut this and paste here what I need to do step by step. I need to read the user input, do the calculation, and display the results. Okay, these three things. How do I read the user input? Through these. So I'll display afterwards. First of all, I will read the user input. So let's say I read the user input string customer name. You say string customer name is equal to customer name. The customer name is there already. Cust name is equal to customer name dot to string. 1 second. Alright, I'm going to write this line again in front of you. Customer. Now you will write this widget's name, the edit text, customer name dot get text. It will read the text dot to string and semicolon. So that's how you read, but still it gives you one error. That error is solvable easily by one click. Come here and say change it to final. That's what it is complaining. So what it is saying is declare it as final. What this final means, please do not change my widget. That is what it means. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to write this one line to read all user input. So I've read the user input here now. I will read the user input in similar forms again and do calculation and display result. These are the two things basically. So let me just do this. I will just display a result over here. String result is equal to congratulations name. That's all. So we'll do the calculation later on. First let's see we are able to read the user input and then display the result. Let's do this. Virtual device manager, I just start this. By the way, you guys are having slow processors. Some of you I saw were not able to start this emulator. So I can give you the phones if you want during the exam or even during the exercise. I can give you the phones and you can show the result over there. You can try your application, run your application over there. Let's do this. Okay, so I run my application on Android by right clicking the application, run as Android application. So let me just do this here. It's right click, run as Android application, and it should come up over here. You will see in your logcat something is happening. Lots of things are happening in your logcat. It is actually deploying the Apk package. It's the Android package. Your whole application is packaged into one file. It's called .apk file, and it is uploaded on the interface, on the Android virtual device. If you attach a physical device, it will upload everything over here. So I'll write here customer name. Let's say Maria, and then calculate. Nothing happens. Okay, are we displaying the results? So we need to display the result on this text view. So we'll do this. Text view is result label. This is let's call it result label because it's a label dot set text, and we'll write here the result. This result which we just created, result label. Yes, please make it as final. So it adds here final. Okay, now I run this application again. You don't need to close this. Once you make any changes in your code, the changes I did in my code is I added this line, result label dot set text. So we write on that text over here. We write on the label this text basically. So you don't need to shut this off. So I run as Android application, and it will start again. So, and then you calculate, and then it says congratulations Mariam. Alright, so I'm just gonna pause this. So whatever the widget name is, get text will read from the user interface, set text will write to the user interface. Now the toString is always necessary, because the toString, whatever the user has written, will convert it into the string, and you can read it as a string. Right, so that's what is working now. We have not done the calculation yet, only the customer's name. Let's say we write the customer's name as something, and you do press the calculate button. On click listener will work. It will read these user input values and display over here. Okay, so that is what we have done. The next steps are also very easy in terms of reading user input values, small, medium and large. You calculate them and display here. Now you know in the calculation, small is 15, medium pizza is 25, large pizza is 50. So let's read these values and multiply them by these numbers, add together, display result. Okay, so let's now read the integer. So integer small, how many small pizza the customer is ordering. This is what we are reading now. Is equal to small, okay, small, I'll change this name to small pizzas is equal to small dot get text dot toString. Now this reads the small, which is supposed to be a number 1, 2 or 3, as a string. Now we need to store it in an integer. So this is how in the same line I store it as an integer. This integer dot parse int. This line stores it as an integer. So I'm going to write this line again in front of you. What this does is, the same line I'm going to write again. You write small widget name, which you have declared over there as a reference, small dot get text, this one dot toString, and you put this whole line into the brackets of conversion, which converts it into integer. So I'm going to write this line here, integer dot parse int, and inside this bracket should be what you have written here, this one, and semicolon. Do not forget the semicolon. And now it is complaining to you again of final, declaring it as final. Move your mouse here, okay, says okay, make it as final. So it will add here final. You may want to do this yourself here for all the references you have created. All the references, make them final. What final means is that you are promising Android that I will not change this value. I will not change whatever the user has written. So the final is it's not changeable. So I read the integer which is small pizzas. I need to read again the integer which says medium pizzas and large pizzas. So integer medium pizzas is equal to integer dot parse int medium. What is this medium coming from? This medium is coming from here, the widget name, medium dot get text dot to string. And you need to do that again for large pizzas. So int large pizzas integer dot parse int, and here you write large dot get text dot to string. And I have read all the values. What I need to do now is to multiply them by these relatively, add together, and display the results. So I'll do the calculation here. I'll say integer total is equal to, now you tell me what should the total be. It's simple multiplication. Anybody here with me? What should the total be? With multiplication. So I have in numbers what the user has written. So small pizza multiply by 15 plus medium pizzas multiply by 25 plus large pizzas multiply by 50. That's going to give you your total. So I'm going to write here small pizzas multiply by 15. Make sure you keep it in bracket as normal mathematics, plus medium pizzas multiply by 25 plus large pizzas multiply by 50. So I've got the total amount now that I should be charging. Say congratulations customer name. This is the result I'm creating. Total amount is, and you write as a string over here, plus. Whenever you want to add anything to a string concatenation, this is. You add to it by writing plus. Total amount is AD total. That's going to give you the total amount. And now you save it and run it. Run as Android application. All the exercises I'm doing in the class, I want all of you to please do this yourself. Because whatever the troubles you're having, we will troubleshoot now. We will kill the problems now. So customer name is, let's say, Ali. Small, I will not write 15 here because 15 is the value. How many small I need? I need 3 smalls, 1 medium, 1 large. And please calculate. Congratulations Ali, total amount is AD 120. So I'm going to show you the code now, but I'm also going to get you guys do this yourself so that you can understand what this is about. So I'm reading the values.